right, thank you and welcome to the Almont Community Schools Board of Education special meeting for May 11th, 2026. We'll call this meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Burrow, will you do roll call, please?
Mr. Wade, Mr. Burns, Ms. Rotarius, Mr. Burrow here, Ms. Ankley, Mr. Eckert, Ms. Smith.
Here.
You have all 7 members present.
Thank you. Adoption of the agenda. There are no additions, deletions, or amendments. That will take us to new business, and for communication, we are going to be working with on our MASB superintendent search, and I am going to turn the meeting over to Mr. Scott Morrell from MASB.
Couple of caveats when we start. We can't use people's names. We can use numbers. If we need to have a discussion that might identify somebody, we can go into closed session. We'll take a motion, go into closed session, have that discussion, and come back out. The decision making has to happen out here. Okay? But because some candidates may have not told their current employer that they're looking, you have that right to stay anonymous until they accept an interview. Okay? Once we figure out who's going to be interviewed, I'll step out and call and see if they'll accept. And at that point, you'll be able to then announce who our candidates that attend the interview are. But up to the time they actually accept an interview, they're not. Okay? Questions over?
Scott, do we announce all of them at one time, or you announce them after each call?
No. We'll announce them all at the same time.
Okay.
Because we get 3 out of 4, I'll come back in, and you may want to say, well, let's call that fifth first.
Okay.
There was one on the cusp. Let's go ahead and call them in. Okay? Just for some background, 3 of your candidates are in the Kingston search. Kingston is meeting Thursday to do this work, and then they're interviewing Monday and Tuesday. So you'll be able to talk to your candidates 3 days before they do. So the 3 of the candidates are at least applied to that. Okay? But none were in the Avondale, and that's closed, so they're good there. So we haven't lost any candidates yet. It's always a concern with all these searches going on that we end up losing a candidate. We didn't lose a candidate, so that's a good thing. So questions first, and then I'll jump into it. Just
Sorry, what's the intention? We're gonna pick like the top 5?
I'm going to ask you, you're going to decide how many you want to interview by where to go.
Okay.
Usually we say 5 to 6. It depends where that water falls. If you get 4 or 5 that are way ahead of everybody else, and then there's a big drop off to 6, then are we just accepting it just to get to the 6th one, or do we say no, 5 is what we want, and we go with the 5? And that's why we're going to start with the numbers here in a second to see where we're at. A lot of times that'll eliminate a lot of the discussion, because now we'll have a flavor. These 4 are good, and then there's 1 or 2 we got to decide out of 2 out of the 3 kind of thing. And that's the ones you have the discussion. The ones that everybody had, we don't have to do a discussion because you've already announced who you like. Okay?
Can you share? Is it pertinent to share the 3 that are also applying elsewhere? Does that matter?
Can't with names.
Well, numbers.
Well, I can give you numbers. Sorry. 7, 14. I'm sorry. Yeah, 7 and 14 and 52
Okay, thank you.
are the 3 that are in Kingston search. Okay. And I do have a color code for who's been in some other searches, kind of thing. So if that's a question, I can tell you who's been in some others. If you hear me say you've got better candidates, then that's just that. Walk away. I found something, or another consultant's found something, and it's just not worth taking the flyer on. But we can't say the person's name and say, here's why. Okay, but there are always, in a search, there are some gray areas. You know, you might have a candidate who's not been renewed, or set, you know, negotiated out kind of thing. And those are the concerns, especially if it's repetitive, then that's what gets me nervous. If they've done it 2 or 3 times, each job starts, and then within 18 months, 2 years, they're negotiating a buyout from the board and moving on. That's usually a sign that they're one step ahead of that institution, and they see it coming. So that's not something we want to know. You know, that track record's there. I've had candidates where they sued previous districts and left with lawsuit going. I'm like, those are things you don't want to embrace those, because they've already told you what, they're showing you what their background's like. And therefore, they're showing you this is what your future could look like, and that's the last thing we want to do for you. So, there wasn't very much in yours, background-wise. Some are purposeful.
Need to use a mic. No one online could hear you.
I like it that way. All right, I'll stay trapped over here for a minute. There wasn't really any in your search that had real big flags. The most of the flags are people who are in repetitive searches and never get an opportunity to interview. And that's always a concern for us, because another board before you has looked at that application like you are, and they haven't taken a chance. So when it happens 3, 4, 5 times, there's usually something in the background or something in that's just not sparked an interest with anybody. And we're not talking just rural, it could be urban, suburban, it doesn't matter. There are all kinds of districts. Okay? Any other questions? Okay, so what I'm going to do is go around, and you're going to give me your numbers, and we'll tag them by their score them up here so we know who's got what. Okay, so as we go around, we'll start over here with James. You're going to read off the 4, whichever ones you are putting up there.
7, 14, 21, 89.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yep, 89, 75, 14, 72,
All over the place.
and 7. Sorry, I know, it's
That's all right. That's why I put in numerical order.
Yeah,
I
uh-huh.
just kind of,
Justin.
Justin,
Justin,
yeah.
whoever that guy over there is.
I'm actually the same as Katie. 89, or you can, if you wanted more, 7, 14, 72, 75, 89.
Okay. Adam.
I had 89, 14, 72, and 7.
Okay. Janae?
7, 12, 75, and 89.
Okay.
7, 72, 75, 89.
Okay.
89,
Got it.
12, 45,
45
yep,
Okay.
and 7.
and 7.
Yep.
Scott, you always see there's some tape back here?
Yeah, sorry about that. There
Got
we
it?
go.
Okay.
We'll make it work. So as you can see, what I was talking about, how some boil right up. If we look at it, you're saying 7 and 89 are totally for sure. Almost everybody, or everybody did. Now you got 14, 72, 75, all had 4 votes. So your decision is, do you want to take all 3 of those, or do you need to have a discussion?
We can pull their stuff up in,
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And I do have a copy of the resume with me, so if we need to look at it. You're doing good so far with your choices. So is there one you want to talk about, get information, somebody want to talk about one of them?
I guess I'll start
Okay.
the conversation for us, so I'll just go in order here. So number 14,
Yep.
I liked the experience, even though there was a lack of soup experience, which
Right.
was something we were looking for. My only reason why they weren't in my top 4 was because the reference letters given were like 8 years old, 10 years old.
Okay.
They didn't have anything, they didn't look like they did anything current, like, for this job position.
Okay.
Whereas some of the other candidates chose to write specifically to Almont Community Schools. They seemed to do a little bit of research, and so that was why I knocked that person out of my,
Nope. And that's the kind of thing I need to know, so if somebody doesn't get picked,
yeah,
and they call me and say, well, what did I do? I can
yeah.
say, hey, here's part of why you didn't get picked.
Yeah, I think one of the reference letters was like from 2015, so like,
Yeah.
considering how big the role is, I kind of felt like, wow, wouldn't you like call a few people you know right now and
Yep.
have them write a reference
And you
letter?
had, what, 7 weeks?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay.
I had similar concerns. I kept that person in to make 5 because I didn't really
Right.
pick any of the others. But similar concern. Yeah.
Okay.
We talk about anybody, or does it have to be those guys?
You can talk about anybody up there. You're trying to figure out, you got 2 candidates so far that you all unanimously picked. So we got 2. We got to figure out, you got to figure out the other.
I think it would
3
be
or 4.
wise to just stay on, if we're going to like move one number to the next, so let's figure out 14 and then we can move to the next number.
That's fine.
The only reason I didn't pick 14 or 72 is because of the experience. I thought we were looking for something, some prior superintendent experience.
So like those that did pick 14, what are your thoughts?
1 second.
3 didn't pick 14? So,
I did not.
It was the 3 of us here.
oh, okay.
I had, of the 5, that would have been my last. I could have stuck with 4 and just not had 14 in there, to be quite honest.
Okay.
And I had chosen 14, even though the references were older. The experience that he had with being in the districts that had bond success and facilities success is one of that put him above the 72 and the 75.
Anything else about 14?
I like that he had, or they had kind of longevity in their positions they held. There were some people that seemed like they were bouncing quite often.
That's part of why you'll see they don't make my top tier. That's the first thing I look at.
Yeah.
If they're 2-year and done, that's the last thing you guys need right now, is a 2-year and out person. So that's why it wouldn't make the top tier.
I would say I'm willing to interview 14. That would have been my number 6.
Okay?
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can agree with you on that.
Okay, let's talk about 72. We'll circle back after you've talked about them all. 72. Same thing, they had 4.
So 72 for me, the note I had without pulling it all back up was, and they were in my top 4, no soup experience, but the reference letters were unbelievable for the people that took the time. So they were really good reference letters, and that was why I put that person up that high.
They were in my top 4, and I did like those reference letters as well, so it made the top 4 on my side.
I liked the Almont entry plan that they put together. Like, I felt like they took time to figure out what barriers were facing the district, and rather than waiting for that first 90 days, to hear, like, they kind of gave us a snapshot of already what they're thinking. So
Yeah,
I liked that.
a little bit on the proactive side is kind of what I got from that, yeah, with that.
72 was in my top 5, but again, it came down to the involvement, the superintendent experience, and the budget bond facilities stuff that we're dealing with.
Anybody else want to share pluses or minuses for 72? 75? And 4 say yes and 3 said no, so what kind of pulled you towards them and what pulled you away from them?
The questionnaire was concerning on one of the questionnaire answers.
The application question was? Yeah.
On our, on,
Which question?
Oh, okay. I'm just looking at that as well.
I had noticed that too.
Okay, yep.
But I wondered if there was further information.
I would,
So,
just so, and then we don't want to out it, but
okay. So you do have that information?
I have their whole.
Okay.
I downloaded their whole
Okay.
application packet.
So that is
So
something we
I
can look
walk
at.
around and show
Okay.
you. But I have all the candidates. I bring them all
Okay.
with me. So just for this reason, so you're not having to fire that. up.
Okay. I'll peek at it after Sherry. It's under the application questions, very last link. And then application questions, scroll down. And this one. Yeah.
Correct, yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
I
correct.
think she may have put, sometimes they put something in a line.
Like you're saying,
Means to-
oh, okay, like a clerical error, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay,
you'll see it.
okay.
For me, the
That's why I wonder, like her name there, and say yes or no. So I can step out and call it.
That would change my opinion.
Same.
I can step out and call you.
Okay.
You guys need to talk about
Next candidate on that.
Okay.
my main concern with that one, aside maybe from this, was that I didn't feel in the positions that were completed, not a lot of financial oversight.
I felt like there's potential with that candidate. I'm just, there's just a lack of the financial stuff and experience. But I thought some of the stuff with the, in their packet, I thought was, promising, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was the note I wrote was maybe, but working towards experience.
Yeah.
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 Scott doing that. What other one we got? We got 12 and 21 up there. For 21, the note I had was lives very close by and had the experience. I just was nervous with their work history if they would be here longer than 2-3 years. But
That's why,
yeah,
That's why I
My
didn't,
list.
yeah.
they were a maybe for me. They were in my top. That was one of my other 6 top out of the top 4.
I had, for the experience that I know that I had in the area, invested in the area. What you had said was the other side of that I was considering.
And for 12, for the 2 people that put 12 up on the board, what do you guys got for that one? Because that one is currently an out-of-state person.
I did not put 12 on
I
there.
picked 12.
I did too.
Currently out of state, but if you look at the previous employment, it's all Michigan. And I just love the extensive, her work history was extensive.
Yeah.
A lot, she was a big deal.
Yeah.
I felt like she bring a lot to the table. They would bring a lot to the table.
Just going off memory, there was like 20 years of super experience
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of past.
What number?
Number 12.
Well, and
Wrong.
they had a successful, a big high-dollar bond that had
Yeah.
Yeah.
passed, and so,
His experience, that type of campaigning and running the, financial aspect of that and managing other day-to-day jobs. So, those are some of the things that I was drawn to.
Can I ask why number 12 wasn't in the top strongest? What made you?
She been out of education now for 3 years. So it's like, what pushed you out? You go into superintendent, did you retire? It doesn't say. That always gets me queasy when I see a break in it, or if they're in business, like they got burned out. So they went to business or colleges or whatever. They haven't looked doing that.
That was going to be one of my questions.
The answer to this first one you asked for is no.
oh, so that was a clerical error. Okay.
Talk to her directly. So it's definitely a no.
I guess like going back to this number 12 and the burnout, if that was the case, I feel like there's a lot of that in today's, like, education, so maybe it's not, maybe they're gonna come back with a new spirit.
Yeah, they could.
I don't know, I just,
They could.
benefit of the doubt, I guess, part of the mind.
My thing I was concerned about though is that I feel, this is just my own opinion, that our district needs, the long vision.
Yeah, agreed.
We need somebody who is gonna be here 10 years.
Yeah,
Somebody who wants to grow with the district, and evolve and change.
yeah.
The other reason, she started her career in 86, so she'd be 40-some years into her career.
Mm.
One of the things you guys said, you wanted somebody with, a little, not long in the tooth right now. So that's why that's the second reason why that one kind of got pulled away.
Okay.
It does say she retired though.
Yeah, just to let you know.
That's usually what happens, but again, started in 86, it puts her in 40 years of education. How many years does she have left in her career? And that's always a concern. And I'm going by what you guys shared with me. That's how I come up with the top tiers, who most closely matches. Did you talk about 75?
We did, yeah.
That was the one you stepped up
Does-
for.
That's what I was talking.
Yes.
We talked about 21.
Well, I guess going back to 75, are we since that got corrected, are the people that didn't pick 75 good with 75 now? They were in my top 4. Yeah.
Yeah, she was in, they were in my,
You're saying, you're asking the 3 people who didn't pick 75 the first go-round,
Yeah,
are
are
they wanting to put 75 up there now?
knowing that
Knowing
question.
that answer being changed,
Yeah,
corrected.
right.
Not changed, but corrected.
She was on mine, so I don't.
Let's see why not.
Of mine, of the ones that don't have superintendent experience, she would be at the bottom of those, so.
Okay.
The other ones is, up there. But if we're talking about an interview, I'm good with that.
What are your thoughts, Sherry?
She would, I would mirror his, she's on the ones without superintendent experience, she would be my last pick on that.
Okay, so like she would make your top 6 if
She would be 7.
7.
Now, remember what I shared with you guys about where new superintendents come from? Remember the breakdown? What is it?
Assistant superintendent, central office, and then administrative of large high school buildings.
Right. A third of them come out of building level administration, a third come out of central office, a third come out of superintendencies. So I know where you're coming from, but don't make that the tipping point for, missing a good candidate. And I'm not any of them. I know where boards come and I want this. And that may not always be because they might have bad habits already from where they've been. Or if you bring somebody new in, you're all working collaboratively to make that happen. So that's why we tell you it's a third, and a third.
Does anybody object to having an interview with 75? So that would be number 3 that we're okay with.
So you got if you want to talk about 12 and 45, is there something that
We didn't talk
people
about
grab those and,
We just talked about 12.
I'm sorry?
12.
We talked about
Yeah.
12 while you were out.
Yep.
And 45?
not 45 yet.
Not 45 yet, I didn't have them on.
Sherry.
Oh, okay.
So, sorry, was 12 a no then, or?
Sorry?
I
was
think we're
12 a
still-
no for everybody, or
I think we're still in
okay.
discussion. Yeah.
All right,
Or, no.
Well, if we
21.
I thought we were
No,
gonna
we were-
discuss
we-
45.
45.
Well, 45.
can discuss 45. So.
Yeah.
I was nervous about 45 because they didn't have any public school experience.
That's the only reason why I didn't have them on the list
Yeah.
for this.
I was concerned about some of the application question answers for 45.
Oh, you're saying, oh, okay, yeah. There's 3 questions in particular.
But also, Rustin was not a public
That's what I was worried
That
about, like the
big-
funding and all that, like for finance
Yeah.
would be a big leap, I think.
I picked that and I agree. That's probably.
Hey, Scott, is that a fair assumption that like private school sector would need training on all the funding for? Yeah.
Yeah, their funding's different, the reporting's different.
Okay.
The requirements, if private schools don't have to do special ed. There's a lot of transitioning that has to happen from that. I mean, there's another one in here that did it, but he's an interim in his district.
Okay.
But he's only been there 6 months, and it's a situation where they had to have a body in there while they searched. There was issues going on, but normally we don't see many come over without somewhere in their career having some depth of public education.
Okay.
Nothing against them personally.
Right, yeah, no,
But-
for sure.
You don't want somebody who's totally green and you have to start from square one. You want them to have at least a little.
Great, okay.
So would we agree 45 is a no then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I think we agreed that 21, even though I live close by, was a no, because it was on me and
That's
Mr. Wade's
the
list.
one I was just talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So what about 72? I mean, that's,
72 and 14, I think, is where we need to make sure we want to
Make sure.
interview. 72, you said, Justin?
yeah, just a, yeah. Principal at a larger district currently.
Yeah, that was the reason why I was, I put that person in my top four, is because their high school has more kids than our entire district, so they at least have experience with that volume of students. Granted, it's just high school experience, but I thought it would,
Yeah, but they also have middle school
Yeah.
principal in a big school district.
yeah.
AP. So he's been in administration since 2012. So he's been still high school.
I mean, for anybody that didn't pick, is there reasons?
They were my 5 and 6. I just did pick them because of the superintendent, previous experience.
They're my 5 and 6 as well. You say they are my 5 and 6, 72? Or are you saying, oh, and 14?
So they're still in your top six and Mr. Wade's top six. So yeah, I mean, that means at least 6 of us have it in the top six. I don't know who the last person was, but are we all good to interview 14?
I would say, is anybody totally
Yeah,
strongly opinionated that you don't want to interview them?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so 72
yeah,
14.
and
Yeah,
14.
72 and 14.
and 14,
Yes.
okay? Are there any others that you want to talk about, you want to ask any questions about?
For me personally, that would complete the list.
Huh?
Which one? Oh, the Indy, or I'm sorry, out of state.
So I think that the
She's-
remainder of the discussion needs to focus on 12, and if the majority of the board
Okay.
wants to also interview 12. So if anybody, if you want to take the time to look them up or anything.
The assumption is they'd be traveling for the interview quite significantly.
That,
But if you make them travel, you end up paying.
Oh, well, that will change my
I know
decision.
we can do Zoom for that interview, but it doesn't carry the same effect as having them sitting in front of you,
Uh-huh.
being able to fit over stuff.
That's tough because they're a very strong candidate. I mean, work history, education history.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, I agree.
I think I am just concerned about the longevity part. Like,
I think
our district can't, I don't think we could sustain, if somebody comes in and then they're gonna resign in 2 years or like 3 or 5 years. It would just be a very big blow again.
Yeah.
At that point, though, they'd have to relocate and reestablish themselves here, so maybe that is part of them staying.
Or just getting over here and then retire.
Yeah,
If you
I
look
have
at,
no
if
idea.
you look at
Yeah.
the history, there hasn't been staying, there's been,
Or getting here and realizing this was not a good fit, and I see that all too often in real estate relocations. It's not always what it's cracked up to be.
Yeah.
And if you're not all that familiar with our community, it could come as a shock. I mean that in
She does have a Michigan certification, so
I saw that, yeah.
at least checks that one off. The question is, forget the other 5.
Mm-hmm.
Could you see this person being your superintendent? don't interview somebody just because you've got to have a sixth person, or, you know, if you don't think as a board that you can picture this person being your superintendent, then that tells you what you need to know. If you let the other 5 off the board, this was the person. Could this be your superintendent, or would you be telling me to reopen the search?
I'm a no, but I'm open to,
I just don't see, so like, I don't know, and I guess they didn't catch us, like, a lot of these stints are, well, other than the last one, but the ones before are like 3-4 years, seems like, I don't know, I just would be concerned. I think,
My answer is no. If everyone else is open to it, I'll go with consensus. But my answer is no.
I'm also no.
I don't think it fits into what we've said we are looking for in terms of the long term, based on the history that's there, and I just think it would be, I think we're good with those 5.
Am I hearing that you've pretty much come to a conclusion of what you
I'm
want to
happy
do?
with the 5, and if, I mean, I was okay with that one as number 6 too, but it doesn't matter to me one way or the other for that one.
Jerry?
That's fine, that's the majority, that's fine. Yeah, she was my number 2.
I think there's a lot of experience with that candidate, I'm concerned about the longevity part.
2 on our list are also interviewing for the other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what's nice is we're getting a first crack at
Right.
getting them scheduled. They don't want to have, they may interview a day ahead of you with them, but they're not making their decision till Tuesday. And most candidates, if they're in 2 searches that close, they'll go through both, they'll continue through, even if they're called back for a finalist, till they know what's going on. They're not going to hedge your bet. If they're a week apart, might be different. We're talking one, the interview's Monday, Tuesday, and yours is Tuesday, Wednesday. It's not going to affect whether they interview with you or not.
Can I ask a question? I don't know if it's appropriate, so tell me to stop whenever you want.
That worries
That's
me.
the, that's the caveat.
Today, get the gavel out.
Worried.
Get the gavel out.
turn his mic off, turn his mic off.
So, we are in competition, obviously, as a business with larger school districts, Romeo, Armada.
Yep.
Do you frequently see where somebody may come here as a stepping stone to an Armada, to a Romeo, to...
That's always a chance you take by the size of your district. It's really what the candidate's looking for in their career. Some people don't want to go to that big district. They enjoy being close. Because think about it, if you're in Utica as an assistant superintendent, you're 5 layers away from the classroom. You get all these other intermediary people. If you're in Armada, there's no one between you and the classroom, if you think about it. There's no assistants and area superintendents and this superintendent and that superintendent. So some people really enjoy being right on the ground and in the buildings and being able to get to know the kids. And, you know, you're in a district that's got twice as many kids as you don't get to know the kids. You don't get to know the families. And so a lot of times, you know, and that's a question for the second round is, you know, what drew you to this, you know, kind of thing. Now, remember, second round isn't going to be scripted like the first round. First round, everybody gets the same questions. Second round is wide open. One candidate may get a question, the other one might not get that one, but something different by what you hear in the first round of interviews. So it's a lot more give and take and probing, and so those are the kind of questions you can ask. I'll just make sure you don't ask the ones that get us in trouble. So if we have a woman, you can't ask her if she's getting pregnant anytime soon. And you can't ask if they're going to move in your district. But you can ask them what's their plan to be visible and active in your district. Now that'll tell them, you know, they understand if they're going to be 3 hours away, they may say, hey, I'm going to get an apartment in the area and, you know, be here during the week, kind of thing. But at least you're getting flavor of the same thing you're trying to get to, but just doing it in a more legal questioning. And that's where my job is to help you, not navigate into that hole.
Yeah, the reason I guess I ask is one of those candidates in particular that we chose has got a history of popping places very frequently. They're on the strong side of our list, but I just wanted to make sure.
And that's unfortunate. I mean, they can come in and sell you a song and dance and say, I'm here forever, and then somebody comes knocking with, you know, with the next perfect job for them, and, you know, it's tough. And especially you guys are in that middle rung. You're not small, but you're not a Richmond, you know, beggar, so you kind of do get some of the stepping stones.
So are we good with those 5 then?
Yes.
Good with those 5?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna step out and call them. In the meantime, in your folders that I gave you, there's a sheet of questions. These are the ones that are top, about 18 or 19 questions that really raise me to the top. What I need you to do is there 2 or 3 of these that, you know what, we can drop them off. When you get 16, then we can put a script together that, you know, you have 16 questions. 19, we're never gonna get to it, so I need to know out of these now, which 3 or maybe 4, but at least 3 go, they're out. Now be careful talking a lot about it. Luckily, we don't have a lot of people, no one's videotaping us, they're not gonna show this for a while. So you can talk about the questions. Is it live? It's live.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you be careful. Think, people, I mean, the questions are the questions.
Why don't we just number them? That way we can just talk about the number.
Yeah,
Make sense?
that's fair.
Just go ahead and put a number.
That's fair.
Okay. However you wanna do it.
We'll start at 1, Mr. Wade. Just because I don't get to read the resolution today? Yeah.
I don't know if we should read.
No, we're not going to read the
Okay.
questions, no. 6. So I've got 28 questions. He said we have to get down to 16. So that means it's not chop off 3, it's chop off 12.
I got 32 questions.
28.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Which district did you take math in, Ms. Smith?
Wow. Everybody got their stuff numbered? Okay, well, why don't we take a minute, read them, and then circle back? Does that sound good?
Do we want to pick our top ones, like our top 5, or?
Well, we just had, how many, he wants us to get down to what?
16.
To 16, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Take a minute, read through them.
Yeah, maybe like leadership we can cut down to a couple instead of 4.
Yeah, we could probably use a whiteboard. Mr. Burrow, you're
There
the
we go.
secretary. You could,
Woohoo!
you could use
It's
the
me. It's
whiteboard
my
tonight.
beautiful handwriting that's gonna carry the day.
Well, you just have to put a number and then the ticker mark.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. You just need to decide. What do we want to do? 10 questions each that we're in favor of.
That we're in favor of, not our top 10.
Well, we can remove or just say that we're going to keep them. However you want, whichever way you guys want to do it. I'm just pulling up my
I think pick your top 10.
10. Yeah, 'cause I gave Scott 10 originally. To
I did too.
yeah.
Huh. Well, read your document, Mr. Burns.
We said 10. You can pick 10. Yeah, 10.
I thought Sherry said 5.
Man, these numbers. Whew.
What'd you say?
10.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk up there and I'm just going to check mark my 10, and then as you guys finish your top 10, just go up there and check them, and then we'll see which ones have the most and
Great idea.
go from there.
This is why you're the secretary, Russ.
Say it again?
You might say it again. Then I'll come up with a beat, but I see.
I win. I beat you.
This one.
There we go.
If it works, thank you, Mr. Wade. I'll go first, that way everyone.
What's that?
You want to,
I
can do
thought
that
would
if you don't want to
happen.
stand up.
I don't think he wants to do that.
I'll do it. Scott's got to make 5 phone calls, so
True.
there's plenty of time. The viewers in the audience and online are excited to watch, so. Is anybody else done?
I am.
All right, what do you got, Ms. Smith?
Question 4. Question 5. Question 6. Question 10. Question 14. Question 19. Question 22. Question 24. 26 and 27.
She gave me 11.
I'm ready.
Mr.
I have
Farias?
10. I followed the instructions in 10.
Sorry. I couldn't decide.
I know, there are a lot of good
Did she give me 11? Did she really give me 11?
Well, I gave you 10.
Oh.
10. 2, 4, 5, 10, 11, 18, 19, 22, 24, 26.
Mr. Burns, sure.
4, 5, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20, 21, 22, 26, 27, 28.
2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 14, 21, and 22.
3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 21, 22, 27.
Are you picking the ones you want? Okay. Just so I can keep
Yeah.
processing.
Yeah, like Ronald's.
And Mr. Wade, you get all the
Aw,
credit.
come on, Jamie.
This is a lot of pressure.
I thought you were first.
Not pressure. A lot of blank questions up here, so.
That's why the Jeopardy music.
4, 5, 7. Those are real, right? Yep. Good.
You're so bad.
this list.
Okay, got it. So there you go, that's our votes for.
That's perfect. That'll narrow it down enough for me, because I've already narrowed it down by what you chose. Adam, no, I got yours. Justin, I didn't get yours.
Yeah,
Sent it today.
originally I sent it.
I got your last week's one. I didn't get the second round,
Oh, it's like,
so.
this
You
is
can-
what the document you sent me, or the document sent out didn't match
Okay,
what the original was.
I'll send you a fresh one, so you can tell me.
Like, you did the questions you had.
Yeah, I'll make sure. I don't know why, but I can send that over to you.
So I didn't want to pick.
Oh, I understand. No problem. But we'll get your.
Good
so you
job,
can-
team.
We'll get it to you, so you have it tomorrow, and you can just give me your 10, so I can finish that up. So what I'll be doing is then writing a script for the whole process. And what'll happen is, you need to read all the questions, so you don't know what order they're gonna be in yet. I will do all that, and basically it'll start with Janaea, and then it'll just work around, twice around in the circle. And you'll have the topic and your question, okay? And then we'll go through the 14. If they're done early, then they're done early. If they don't get them all done, then we don't get them all done. And those are all things that you need to think about. You know, if they can't get 14 questions in 45 minutes, then, you know, what's the depth of their question, answers and stuff. So that's all part of what you're looking at. Okay? So if you pull out the PowerPoint I have in there. First up, is there any questions on the OMA one I sent you last? Yes. Pretty straightforward. It's just a reminder to have so that you don't, and there's another one in your folder today by OMA, just as another review. You don't want to do this sheet, so we kind of get it hard a couple times. So, remember, you're trying to figure out who do you want to be? Who can you see long-term being in the department? Okay? So don't let one answer, one fluff. The first round, you're just comparing your five candidates. They're all gonna get the same questions. So it's not always that answer they give you, it's how they answer it. Is there a lot of cultural white noise? Is there a lot of educational buzzwords, you know, kind of thing? That's what you're looking for in that first round. So they make eye contact with you. They greet you. Those are all things you're looking for in the first round. Cultural north is a big one. Third page, slide 5. Don't try to fill the dead air. It's candidate. So if they're just sitting there and they haven't really answered the question, don't go back and, well, what about this? Or what? Second round will do that. But this round is them needing to answer. If it goes too long, then we just go to the next person and you mark it down and any answer it, kind of thing. Don't try to fill it. Be careful if you're non-verbal. We talked about it earlier. Don't be, yeah, you're right. You know, acknowledging them real hard. Or, what are you talking about? You want to stay neutral to your candidates, so you're not favoring one or the other. You just want to make eye contact with them. When you're answering them the question, just jot some notes down. You don't have to write word for word what they said. Okay? You'll have a binder in front of you with each question and a score sheet. You can make some notes, what you like, what you didn't like, and a scoring on the bottom. You can check off a number really quick. So you can kind of remember. And remember, you're going to do 5 interviews in 2 nights. So you're not going to remember everything, so we want you to take that time. If they read correct to you, you can go back and say, this is interesting, tell me specific time. If they totally blow your question off, go back and push for it. You know, that's an answer to something, but not my question. Kind of, you know, hey, you know, I understand, I appreciate that, but in this situation, how did you handle it? You remember, most of the questions are behavioral based. What did you do? Not necessarily, what is your thought about this? It's, you want to see who can put it, okay? I mean, your listening noises, nods, pauses, casual remarks. You're looking for essentially a conversation. never got to all the questions because it was so long. But if that's their normal cadence, is that something you can deal with on a regular basis, or you know, it's, and you know, for the board that she was interviewing with, it was like, nice person, but you know, that kind of cadence would drive us nuts. You gotta be able to think on your feet.
Can you give us an example of white noise? Is it like political answers that don't say anything?
Political answers, educational aids, buzzwords, you know,
Like what?
cell phone use, you know, your questions about building facilities, and they're answering, well, the cell phone policy says this, or the state law did that. If they try to redirect you, that's usually one of the biggest white noises. They don't want to answer your question, so they're gonna look for another. Or they'll throw out, you know, it used to be No Child Left Behind, AYP, you know, all those kind of, but it would be inactive. So you guys might understand it, but your community, staff would, but most of your community in general would not understand what they're, and that was like, look at me, I'm better than you. And usually there's no depth behind it, and it's throwing out those terminology out, but there was nothing behind it. And that's the one.
Okay.
Fundamentals, just make your notes as you go. Remember, they're subject to FOIA. Please don't put something about what they're earning or idiot or because they can be FOIA. It's all documented. When we're done, we'll take the binders and collect them so they're on hand for us to do. Listen for facts and actual events, situation, task. Not, well, I should have done this, or I could have done that. What did you do? What did you learn from it? That's the situation, task. You want to make sure that you're working with you. You want to know specifics. If you don't get those, that's a no. Hey, you know, great answer, didn't answer our question, and even when we re-asked it, still didn't answer it. That's what you're looking for. Because what you're going to do at the end of the second night is you're going to choose those two people who you think best fit your profile and what you're looking for superintendent to invite back for a second round interview. Second round is wide open. We won't script it. You'll send me your questions ahead of time, the starting questions, so I can proof them. But then we'll come in and it'll be, it won't be going around in circles. It'll be, hey, Madam President, you know, Ms. Rotarius, and you'd ask me a question. And you could probe, you could do a follow-up. And you don't, Sherry, you don't like something that candidate said, or you weren't sure. Hey, can I ask a follow-up question to that? And you can jump right in. It's not like the first round where it's just, we're just trying to stack them up. Second round, questions for one may not be the questions for the second one, and vice versa. Questions are geared toward, you heard in each candidate's first round interviews, and are specific to that candidate. So as you're thinking, if there was something that you didn't hear, make a note of it. So that might be a question down the line. If it pops in your head, just make a note in your book so that we had to, that's, you know, here's a follow-up question I have that I need to make sure you use. Okay? Questions?
How many questions do you bring to that round of our
We
own?
do, well, you'll send me 3 each, and we'll start with those 3 and see where it takes us. We'll ask, we allow them to use the time, so depending upon, you might get 5 questions of the original questions, because you start having this dialogue and back and forth, and that's fine. They have that time period, we're probing, we're really getting deep. Is this the person that we can see in our superintendent? Okay? We'll start with a 3 to 5 minute multimedia, well, I'm not saying PowerPoint, multimedia presentation to you on their 100-day plan. So we'll see what they can bring to you. They should hopefully bring you a binder with some information, maybe a PowerPoint, whatever they want to bring to you. So it is another chance for them to present to you like a board meeting. And so we'll have them present like a board meeting. So you'll get a flavor of how do they talk to you, how do they interact. And you can ask questions because it's part of the interview.
And usually you'll get to a point where one will start to go to the other. When we start talking about it, we always talk about positive. What did you like about a candidate in your interview? Not that they didn't answer this question, or they don't have this. It's what do they have? What do they bring to the table? Because remember, these people all have jobs in other districts. And the last thing we want to do is be poking them with negative. So keep it on the positive. What did you hear that enthused you? Okay? Be careful of the negative, because again, we don't want to hurt their careers either. They've taken time out of their time, especially this time of year, to come and interview with you. Last thing we want to do is make their life that much more difficult. All right? In each interview, community will have feedback forms and question cards in the first two nights. Question cards are questions that I'll share with you guys, and it could be questions you use in the second round. So you have those in the community. The feedback forms will get you copied after each interview. You'll have those each night pretty quickly. I've worked with Jill, and we're working on probably me being able to go in there and just make the copies for you. But we'll hold bunch and put them right in the binder, so you'll have all the community's feedback along with your notes. You're going to have a lot of data to kind of look at. So that's why we want community and staff to be here, because we need their feedback. We'll do public comment time at the beginning of the meeting, okay? And then we'll start with 6:05 will be the first interview. You said 6, right? So 6:05 would be the first interview. You gotta do the pledge and all that. And 6:05, and I'll send you the specifics once I have it. Usually it's 45 to 50 minutes, then a 10-minute break. Okay? That gives you a chance to write a couple notes, get out and stretch, get something to drink, whatever you need to take care of yourself, come back in, so every candidate gets the best of us. You know, if we try to sit there and go through, Avondale did 5 on Saturday. That's a long day for a board. It was a long day for, you know, certain ending candidates don't always get the same push or information from the board.
Scott, so we had set 3 nights aside, like next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday initially. So would it be, like, what's the best plan? Do 2, 2, 1, and then deliberate, or 3?
3 and 2.
2, okay.
What's nice, usually we do 3 and 3. Being at 3 and 2, it's not going to be 10 o'clock when you start to deliberate who you want to bring back for second round. Because you figure 6 to 7, 7 to 8. So 8 o'clock, you'll be looking at all the feedback forms from that night. And then we'll talk about the same thing. We'll do the same kind of thing. You'll tell us which one you like, and then we'll talk about the positive. And soon, you'll see, just like tonight, you know, 2 people came right to the top. And you'll see the same thing. And so, you know, a lot of times you say, yep, that one's out, that one's out, that one's out. Oh, we got 2 left, great, we're done. Those are the 2 we want to interview. Okay, so sometimes it's not who goes to the top, it's who drops themselves out of the race sometimes. But yeah, I would stay on the 2 nights. They don't
Tuesday would
still-
be 3,
3 the first night.
Wednesday
2
be
the
the
second.
2, and then deliberation for who we bring back the
After
following week.
at the end of the second night. So that keeps you guys from having a third night that week with all the other dates and the end of the year school stuff. If we do it, we're looking at 3 hours each night. We can get in, get our work done, and that gives you that Thursday. Not have to be working.
I'm in favor of that. I'm just saying I'm in favor of that, the 2 nights.
We'll support our, you know, away from family. You're already, you know, at the end of the school year, there's a lot of stuff going on.
We have regular meeting Monday too, so.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll do 2 nights, and then the second round is 1 night. And what we'll do on that night, on that day, is candidates will come in between 2 and 3. We'll have a couple staff members be their hosts, and take them around the district, and show them the buildings, and introduce them to people, so they get a flavor of Almont. Then 4:30 to 5:30, we'll do the meet and greet, wherever we end up doing, wherever we decide
We're gonna do the high school cafeteria.
cafeteria. So both candidates be in there, it's not you guys, you don't go in there. It's for the staff and the community to come in and talk to these people, get some feedback. You will ask them for feedback forms again on what they felt. You know, again, it's the person making eye contact, in one district who did it, and one of the board candidates actually got down on her knees at the eye level of the student. And when the board heard that from the community, it really resonated because they weren't talking over the kid. They actually got down on their knees and talked to the student. And it made a big difference to the board. And so the community gave feedback when they saw that, and that gets to you guys as another feedback.
But we don't attend that night.
Nope.
Okay.
Not the meet and greet, not the tour. No, that's staff's opportunity to introduce them, have a discussion. So usually we'll get either some master teachers or the union leadership to be their hosts. And that gives them an opportunity to really get to know that candidate, if they're gonna be working with them. Could be a building administrator, or master teacher, somebody who knows, got them, everybody in their buildings listens to them. That's the person who must be out in the afternoon.
And that's the Tuesday after Memorial Day, correct? Yes.
Round two,
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Okay.
Round two, and the one night, Tuesday.
And we make a decision that night?
Okay. Normal,
Okay.
and if we can't, then we'll have to come back the next night, but I think normally, geez, making a decision.
Yeah.
Most times, I've, say it out loud, but I've never had it go an extra night. Because usually one candidate will start to get ahead of the other one, and so board will coalesce around one. And we're looking for consensus. The last thing we want to do is have a 5-2 vote, because now the new superintendent comes in, oh, I got two people who didn't even vote for me. And so I always work towards consensus, and I live with it. And when we get consensus, that's when we take the motion to offer the position to so-and-so pending successful contract negotiation.
And that deliberation is done in open session?
All open.
Okay.
Yep, all open. One question you have, the guys need to start thinking about is who's going to negotiate your contract with the superintendent. Usually it's two of the board officers who do it, but you as a board have to determine who's going to negotiate the contract with whoever your finalist is. And it all goes through your school attorneys. Once you get it, they'll counter it. The candidate will have to go to their attorney and have it perused, make sure it fits their needs. Your attorney's already looking at it, so that we're covered on our side. If that's something you want to do, because you want to get that done. They're not your superintendent until we get a signed contract from them and you. So until that happens, you've got a candidate, you've got a superintendent waiting, but the last thing you want to do is have something go way out there. They know the salary range, they know the benefits that your current superintendent are getting, so it's no surprise to them what they're doing. When I get the contract from Janae before the second round, I'll send that to them, so they'll have the boilerplate, so they know at least the framework of what's going to be in there. So again, I'll ask them, is there a reason that you couldn't find a way to work within this contract? I don't want you to interview somebody if they know they're going to blow it right up and not be able to do the contract. I'll send you both finalists your strategic plan. This is the plan that they just approved. Is this doable for you? Or is it totally out of the realm for what you think? You want to know that before you offer a job to somebody, and then you come back and say, God, that was not good. Remember, superintendent's got to last a year, and we got to come back out and do the search for no fee. You just pay mileage. So we got skin in the game too. That's part of why when I say you got better candidates, that's partly why. I don't want to steer you towards candidates that we know their track record. I know some of these people personally. I've worked with them. And it's like, hey, in good conscience, say that's the right person for your district. You know, and you can see, the ones you picked are the top tier that I got. And that's because I literally looked at your candidate profile. Okay? question. That's what the
More of
next
a comment. So, Mr. Eckert and I have been working with the attorney on getting the contract boilerplate ready. So we'll be getting that to Scott. I think we should decide tonight who's going to do that negotiation. I don't know if you guys wanted to have Adam and I do it, or if we want to have Mr. Wade and I do it, because Jamie is part of finance, and so some of that comes into with salary stuff. So I think we should make that decision tonight, or if you want Russ and
I
Jamie.
like that my name didn't come up
I don't
until
know.
just now. Just
I just said, you do Russ and Adam, Russ and Jamie, like, yeah.
Russell's like, I'm not even gonna.
Jerry might want to do it, I don't know.
It's either. You guys have been doing,
Yeah, we just got like the general one and just kind of went through it to like update it and stuff like that, so. I was just thinking
Yeah.
was that some of
Yeah,
it
the
being
more you
salary
get
stuff, if we.
Situated tonight, the better.
yeah.
The contract we came up with so far is pretty boilerplate.
Pretty-
We've taken some stuff out,
Right.
to make it more generic so they can negotiate back into it.
Yep. You wanna
Is that
leave some
typical?
wiggle room for them to, benefits, put how many days per se. Those are negotiable. Cause they may come in and have insurance already. So they don't need your insurance, but they may say, give me money towards my annuity, or that kind of thing. And you have to determine as a super board, is this within the realm of what we wanna do? And that's where you guys are gonna have to talk to your board on a regular basis to get their feedback. You just can't be voting outside the room. Decision has to be made here in the room. But they can call and update each of you individually and get your feedback and take that back. As long as we're not saying, well, Scott said this, and Paul said that, and Steve said that, that's gonna get us in OMA world of problems.
Out of the 4 officers, do any of us have experience with negotiating a contract?
every day in real estate. I won't have the. I do in real estate, yeah.
Well, that's good too.
What's the time frame of dates? That may be,
Well, whenever the second night is, after that, it's a week from Tuesday, so it's
Week
2
from
weeks
tomorrow.
to tomorrow.
Yeah.
2 weeks from tomorrow is when you decide that negotiations would happen whenever the 3 people can get together. Usually it's done telephonically because they're in another district and try to get over and meet with you here. So a lot of times it's done on a call, conference call, or email back and forth because of the logistics of trying to get 3 of you in the same room more than once.
put us probably Wednesday or Thursday of that week. I'm available.
You're not available?
I'm available those
Oh, okay.
days, but once we get to Friday, I'm not. Friday and Saturday, preferably. I don't know what Adam's.
You wouldn't be negotiating on the weekends. Hopefully, usually it only takes a couple of backs and forths. They know what they're coming in, they know what the standard is, they know what you paid Kim to do, what
Right.
Kim's contract looked like, it's public. So they got a flavor of what you guys do for sick time and vacation and all that.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be, like, you give 20 days and they come in, they want 80 days. They're not gonna come in, they're gonna come in, it's usually the financials more than anything. Because remember, we set a range, so you have to decide in that range, or if you and you still can go outside that range. I wouldn't go lower, because you won't get a contract, they will bounce. But you can go higher if you feel that that's the person you really want. But again, it's the benefits, it's the insurance, it's all those kind of things are really the discussion points. Kind of like your teacher contracts. It's not the language as much as it's the money.
Mr. Eckert, are you okay with Mr. Wade?
Fine with that, yeah.
Does that work for you, Jamie? Okay.
So who's doing it?
Jamie and I will do it.
Okay. Okay, so we have that decided.
Is there anything else we can get done tonight in preparation?
I think we should have the motion written out on a sheet like Jill does for all of our motions so that we read it correctly.
Okay.
For when we, at the end, when we're going to motion to
I'll get,
do a contract,
I'll have all that.
you're going to have that written out so that way we read that correctly.
Yep.
Good question.
I'll have one for
next Wednesday
Okay,
for, you know, how you're gonna name your two finalists.
okay,
You know, you'll make
Okay.
a vote to take, these are our two finalists.
Okay.
And then, we'll write the motion for offering contracts, so again, it's saying
okay,
per, enter contract negotiations upon successful, they will be our supervisors.
okay.
So you get a contract signed by them and you choose two people to talk. But yes, I will, that's part of the stuff I do.
Okay,
Make
cool.
sure we try to make it as turnkey so you can come in next week and just listen. The binders will be done and copied. I already talked to Jill, the binders are done. I just gotta build a script now from your questions, send it over to her, she'll copy them, put them in all the binders, and those will be ready to go. So when you walk in, they'll be at your place, be ready to go. Okay? The only thing you guys gotta, most boards like, I don't know how you guys, are you gonna dress casual, or are you gonna dress more business casual? That's, it sounds silly, but again, remember, they're interviewing you at the same time.
I think
And
we
so-
should probably dress better than what we usually
I
do.
think what I have seen over the years is that our work session is a little bit more like Raider gear, Almont gear, and a little casual. Anytime the few of you that I've interviewed are appointed to the board, I have always tried to dress more professionally. So that's,
Yeah.
I think, you're interviewing somebody for a
And I'm not saying suit and ties,
yeah.
but I'm saying no, not logo wearing, not blue jeans kind of thing. Again, they're interviewing you, so you don't want to come across like you're just like, coming in, do your thing and leave. They're not going to accept a contract with you because they don't like what they're hearing from yours.
Yeah, and I think we can just be true to how we normally are anyway, but
Yep.
dress professional, but
Yeah.
like you said, if we're all coming in suits and ties and everything, that's not how we normally
Oh,
are.
that's.
Right,
Yeah.
It's way
yeah.
out of the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't see
Yeah.
me in a suit and tie. Some of our consultants do. You'll see me in my MASB
Right.
polo shirt.
Yeah.
I won't
Authentic,
be,
just,
dress pants, I won't. Because again, I don't want to be way out there.
trying to stay authentic, yeah, and what you're.
Will we get the final questions before that night in our binder? or-
Yeah, you will get them this weekend. You'll get the final set of questions, and I'll actually send you the script electronically, so you'll know which questions are yours. So you can read them all, and make any notes you want, but you want to make sure you read yours through a few times so that when it's your turn to speak,
Are we asking the same question to each candidate?
all 5 times.
Okay, yeah.
So that, whatever your 2 questions are, you're asking the same 2 questions, because the script is one script. So again, we start with Janae, and however, let's just say you're sitting in this, it would go to Russell, and then it's Sherry, and then it come over to James, and Katie, and then to you and Adam. And then we go around a second time, so she would start it, and the start is them introducing themselves, what drew you to Almont, give us a little background. And then at the end, in the middle, she'll ask one question. At the end, she'll then ask them for a closing statement.
Scott, if they're not through all the questions, do we give them time to do their closing statement?
Yes, I'm gonna be in the back.
Like with timers?
If I say this,
Okay.
that tells you got, whatever question you're on is it, and that gives enough time for the candidate to have a closing statement.
Okay.
So if we're on 10th question and we're at 45 minutes, you're gonna get we're cutting it off, kind of. We wanna be done
Do you
totally.
have a big hook that you bring in?
Yeah.
Or-
The shepherd's cane?
That'd be great.
Turn all the microphones off.
Did we decide the interview layout? Like, is there gonna be a table there?
So Scott and I talked about that when I got here. We are going to be over at the high school and the media center, and we're going to have the candidate table kind of on the side so that they can speak to us and to the guests in the audience, and then we'll kind of be a little bit like kind of not a complete horseshoe, but a little bit rounded. So it's like there's a conversation going on.
You want the wings to be able, like you do tonight, you wanna be able to see each other. And the candidate needs to see you, but we don't want the candidate to be totally back to the community. Because there's times where if they turn to interact with the community, and that's fine, it's something that you'll get caught on. So it's just, we want the community to feel engaged with us.
High school, okay.
you have any questions this week, I know we went through a lot of stuff, email me or call me. We'll get through it. You're doing fine. Can be answering questions, answering my stuff on time, you're getting your work done. You got your candidates picked pretty quickly tonight. I have 2 yeses and 3 voicemails.
Oh.
You see if anybody called me back. But if that's the case, then we can't announce them. Nope, I don't think that's one. Just for your, just for your knowledge, 75 and 89 are yeses. Let me step out and see if this.
So we're gonna be in the media center at the high school.
Yeah.
And this equipment is traveling with us now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can go over that real quick. So tomorrow night we have our work session. That'll be in here at 6 p.m. And then on Friday, for those that are attending the Student and Staff Engagement Day, we'll be meeting in the superintendent's conference room in the morning, and then we'll tour the district, meet with students. One of my favorite days of the year. I love that day, so if you can attend, I hope you do. And then the 18th, we have our regular meeting at 6:30 p.m. in the high school auditorium. Then on the 19th and 20th, we'll be in the media center at the high school at 6 p.m. And we won't need the 21st anymore, so we're going to take that date off of the calendar. And then not depending, but then on the 26th, we have the district tours for the final 2 candidates. And then we have the meet and greet from like 4:45 to 5:30. And then at 6 p.m. in the high school auditorium, we would do the final interviews.
So that's gonna be in the auditorium, not the media
That's
center?
in the auditorium. We thought that, when Scott and I spoke about it, we thought that was a better setting in case there was a larger audience so that it could accommodate more guests and easier to see and stuff like that. So, and if they're doing a presentation, we got the big screen in there. Alan will be on site to help with any of the IT needs that we need to have.
Do we have the auditorium laid out, how we're gonna lay it out?
For that night,
Yeah,
not yet. Scott,
Okay.
I haven't gotten to that point yet. So we talked about everything for next week.
gotcha, okay.
So.
And we're gonna stream, or we're gonna record all the interviews and then upload them at once.
Colin's not going to release them until he's given the okay from me. So I told him when everything's all said and done, then we'll release them. But yeah, we are going to stream them because I did have a couple people in the community ask, if I can't attend, but I want to see how the interview went and whatnot, which I think is great for people to see. That way they can see everything firsthand. We just don't want to be streaming them during. We want to get through everything and then we'll do that.
Okay. Thank you.
And then we also have the Wax Museum. If anybody's able to attend that, that's on the 29th, and that is in the middle school circle. That's from 9 to 10. So that's a very fun event if you're able to do that as well. And that night we have Baccalaureate. That's at 7 o'clock in the high school auditorium, if you're able to attend that. And then on the 31st, we have our senior graduation ceremony, which I needed to know who is going to attend it or not. Mr. Lance, you're attending? Yeah. You're attending. Mr. Burns?
I'll be there.
Cynthia, I know you're attending. Mr. Eckert?
You said that was the 31st of May.
31st at 5.
Was it?
The 31st?
31st of May?
Yes.
Um,
You can let me know when you want. Okay, just let me know because I have to let Miss Brown know so she sets up the stage and stuff like that.
okay.
So, was everybody, it would, yeah, the office be on the stage. I know Mr. Wade knows a lot of the graduates. Were you guys okay with Mr. Wade being on stage again?
He's a local hero.
Bring a garbage bag this time.
So,
You got a lot of candy last year.
And I had one student who ate his licorice in the procession in my class this fall. He ate my licorice, dude.
All right, so Mr. Wade and I will hand out the diplomas. We are doing, we have 2 seniors whose parents were on the school board who will be, we're going to use our new policy that we approved, so they will be joining at the time their student is called up. They will walk from the other side of the stage to give their student their diploma and then walk off the stage with them.
Okay.
So they're very excited.
That's
Cool.
really cool.
Yeah,
I like
it's a
that.
nice thing.
It's awesome.
I'm glad we did that.
You can add 72 as a yes. So you got all the other two. As soon as I talk to them, I'll shoot you all an email. We want to, normally we can share it out, but again, until they say yes,
Mhm.
we can't use their name, so. We don't want to give, we want them all out at the same time, so there's, no one comes back and says, well, you gave them an advantage by 24 hours ahead start on
Right.
it, kind of thing, so. So hopefully we'll hear back from them pretty quick. So, as soon as I do hear from them, I will shoot you an email as a group and say, okay, you can announce it, and we'll get something put out to the staff and the media right away.
I have some of the verbiage ready. I got to finish that up tonight, and I spoke with a representative from the paper. I just have to have everything done by 1 o'clock tomorrow,
Yep.
so we can put that there and then on our Facebook page. Correct?
Yep. We talked the other day, so he got some stuff from me, so.
I have one question too. You had told us just to go by candidate number and not to do any research on the candidate. At
Right
what
now.
point in time should we,
Second round.
second rounds when we really dive in? Okay.
What we'll do is after the first round, after we make the decision, I've got a sheet that we can use to divvy up who's gonna do what, so we're not all calling the same references or the same people. And you can then, you're free to research, talk to whoever you want. If you find something, you gotta let me know right away, okay? Usually what I do is have the board president call the 2 board presidents. I usually have somebody call the union leadership in the districts. Those kind of things. Some call a business in the community to see what they know about the school district, especially if they're a superintendent or central office kind of candidate. Those kind of things. And we'll divvy that up after the second, once we know who the candidates are and how much digging you think you need to do. I don't do site visits because it's a dog and pony show. They only bring who they want you to talk to. So you're going to get 10 people who love that person or want that person gone, so they're just going to sell them to get them out of there kind of thing. And I've been on both sides of that equation, so we'd rather not do that. So it doesn't, that's why the tour of the district is good feedback, and then the meet and greet is a much stronger feedback that we get than going to their district. Because they're not going to show you the dirty halls, and they're going to find the most clean rooms and prettiest areas. It does you no good. It's a waste of your time, so.
You want them during the tour? You want them to see every building?
I think they need to at least see the 3 buildings.
Okay.
You know, if we do it 2:30, that gives them 2 hours. They should be able to walk all 3 buildings in
Yeah.
2 hours. They may not walk the whole building, but they need to see the layouts and,
And do they walk together?
yeah.
Okay.
The hosts stay with the candidates.
Okay, I didn't know if you had like if each candidate was with a
No,
different host
they just
or
go,
they both.
no. One host goes, another one goes another direction.
Okay.
You don't want them together.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Because that candidate may ask them a question that the other candidate shouldn't hear, because it's a question they've come up with, and they don't want to sell or share what they're thinking. So usually it's, you know,
So
this
2
one's over at
hosts,
the
different area.
yeah,
Okay.
one's over there, one's here, and then, you know, we just don't want them walking together. I mean, they may end up in the same building. We just tell your
Well, I
host.
think I have a plan of how we can find it out.
Yeah, but otherwise, the host just makes sure we avoid each other, and then the host makes sure we get them back to the high school for 4:30 for the meet and greet.
Yep.
And the candidates will all know all this stuff from me afterwards. They'll get once I get all the yeses tonight or tomorrow, they'll get a whole logistics letter about what we're gonna do, how we're gonna do it, what they gotta prepare for, all that before, next week. They'll get an invitation to go on and sign up for a interview slot. We don't assign it. I tell them at 3 o'clock I'm sending you an email. At 3 o'clock, whoever's the first one that gets it, gets the first slot. Now, the only time we change is if one of those candidates is interviewing at the other district and there's a conflict, like they're interviewing Tuesday, then they have to interview on Wednesday here, unless they want to try to, I think it's a little too far to try to do both in the same night. So I will, once in a while, somebody will say, hey, I can't, for whatever reason, I'll make that adjustment. But I don't like assigning slots, because again, I don't want it to feel like we're putting somebody above somebody else. They choose. If they're slow to get in, they get what they get. Some like early, some like the last. So as soon as we have that schedule, I'll get that out to you guys too. That'll be, if I get the yeses by tomorrow, that schedule will be done by tomorrow afternoon. So that we gotta get this out in the community and staff, because everybody's like, okay, what did the board do tonight? Who are these people? But think about what you did tonight. You had 5 candidates that boiled up to the top pretty quick. Means you have 5 very viable candidates to be your next superintendent. That's a good place to be. When you look at Kingston, who is also in the same time, they only had 9 applicants. And 4 of them are repeats, and 2 of them are from this one, or 3 from this one, but a couple other ones are in every search. We see them. So they don't even have, he's like, they might go straight to final round. They may not have to, because they only find 1 or 2. So you're in a much better shape. I don't worry about numbers. I worry about how many quality numbers. And I think the 5 you picked will all serve you well in the long term. So at least it's a good place to be, and not, ooh, we're taking the worst of the best, or the best of the worst. And, we don't want you to settle. Get the second night, and you guys can't come to a decision, and we're back and forth. We'll table it for a couple of days and come back. Or if you just can't do it, you're just not satisfied this is your candidate, then you're going to tell me, and we're going to go back, and you'll have to get an interim. We'll work to get an interim, and we'll go back and do another search. We'll reopen it, repost it, and start the process again. That's always on the table. We don't want you to feel like you just have to settle what's there. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think you're going to find one that you're going to all connect with and be able to bring on. Okay? Questions for me? 8 o'clock, not bad.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank
Yep.
you, Scott.
Thank you guys.
We appreciate it.
Yep.
Questions and comments from the board? Anybody? I'd just like to extend my thank you to Mr. Eckert. He's been a big help with with the IT equipment. Also, that goes to Mr. Markland and Mr. Colin Allen. So we are hoping these will help a little bit with some verbal clarity to our audience. And so thank you, Adam, for all the help with that. And thank you to Mr. Morrell for all the effort and time that you've been putting into this. We really, really appreciate it.
No problem. The form that has all the candidates on it, that's confidential. Bring it next week and I'll collect them from you, but that way you have it for review.
Okay.
And if you printed anything, any candidates who didn't get selected, have to be shredded, so either bring it back next week for me, or get it to the office and be shredded.
Okay.
Those are all confidential.
Any questions or comments from the audience? No?
No?
The only thing I have a question.
Okay, there had to be something.
This is really, it's a comment, not a question.
will.
Where we'll have tables.
There will be a couple tables, but we can make sure that there's like enough for writing.
The ones that I've seen been part of, if you do that, it's easier. Everybody sitting at the table, right? I mean, here, it's pretty good. You would read that, right?
Okay, why don't I chat with you after to see how you guys did it in the past? I think it's a better deal. Okay.
It's the only thing. The only other thing is just, and I don't know how you guys, want to do it or can do it. I've always been against reading questions. You want to know what your question is, because I've just watched Richmond over there, watched theirs, and this one board member had one heck of a time reading your question. And it's just a whole lot easier, very familiar with it, and you can look the person in the eye and give your question, like memorize it.
That's why they'll have you by the end of the week, so they'll be able to have 3 or 4 days just to read to familiarize with all the questions.
All of them,
But
yeah.
read the 2 that are assigned to them.
Whatever they know,
They
but
can just keep repeating until they feel.
just to get it out, so it's not like, you don't act like that's the first time you've heard.
Oh, no, they'll have it right in.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you for coming, Mr. Frederick.
Thank you for that input.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, future agenda item?
Ms. Smith,
Mr. Burrow.
I move we adjourn the special meeting May 11th, 2026 at 8:10 p.m.
Support.
Motion and support, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?